Okay, so it's the summer of 2019, and I thought I would do a video that talked about the tech I'm using right now, as well as like the reasons why I'm using some of it. Talk about maybe how I set up some of it. But the reason why I started to do this video was I've made a relatively big change in the, I guess, ecosystem that I'm in. So you can tell by the title, I have switched off of Apple's iPhones. I've been someone who's used Apple's iPhones for a really long time as my primary phone. And this is the first time I can confidently say that I am pretty much Apple free in my life. So this phone I switched over to is the OnePlus 7 Pro. The reason why I switched to this one in particular was the screen. The 90 hertz screen is just super smooth. The animations look so silky and so nice. But the reason why I even switched over to this phone to begin with was my wife broke her iPhone. She had like a iPhone 7 or something, and she just took mine. She just straight up took my iPhone 10. And I went to the store to buy a 10R as a replacement because that's more reasonably priced. I just thought that that would be the phone to try. But using that screen, I'm shocked as to how bad that screen looks when you have access to phones like this, like the 90 hertz OLED compared to a 60 hertz IPS panel that's just lower res. Is no comparison. The difference in hardware quality you get when you spend $700 on an Apple iPhone versus $700 on a OnePlus phone is just way too big to ignore right now. Like, this was just an easy choice for me to switch over. The other thing is that as a tech reviewer, one of the things that makes a good review for us is when you're trying to actively replace a device that you already own. Like if you have a laptop, let's say. I do a lot of laptop reviews, so every laptop that comes out that I think, hey, maybe that'll be the device that I replace my current one with, that review is going to be a great review because I look at it critically and I look at it through the eyes of someone who actually wants to replace an existing device. Those reviews tend to be really good. And when it comes to phones, I found that because my primary phone in the past has always been an iPhone, it's difficult to look at Android phones in that same type of eagerness, right? Like a new Android phone comes out, it's cool, it's like, let's review it, but then you think, this isn't going to replace my primary phone. This will replace my backup Android phone, but when your main phone is an Android phone, every phone that gets launched or every Android phone that gets launched is a potential upgrade for your existing device. Now, it's not all rainbows and unicorns here. There's a lot of stuff that I do miss from iOS, if I'm being honest. I miss iMessage. I miss the integration that iPhones have with each other, like with other family members. But over the past month, I've just gotten used to it. You just got to force yourself to not have an out, right? You just force yourself to use Android, get used to it, and eventually you just learn to love it. And there's so many things I disliked about the iPhones, particularly like the number one thing for me is the Lightning port. It is crazy to me that they're still milking this port. It's slow to transfer data, it's expensive, it's proprietary, the cables that you use on this thing break easily. Like, there's so many things that are bad about this port, but it makes Apple a lot of money. Now, you can't blame them for this. Like, if you were a company that could get away with it, like if you were Apple and you were able to pull in millions of dollars every year using this port and forcing your users to use this port, you would probably just keep using it because it's really profitable. So, and the other thing that kills me is that the 2019 phone, like I'm totally going off tangent here, but the fact that this year's, like the new upcoming 2019 iPhone is rumored to still use this port is just bonkers. Like, that is an aggressively underwhelming phone. Like, it's a 3-year-old design, still running Lightning ports. Like, come on, dude. I'm someone that likes iOS, but not that much. Not enough to purchase something like that in 2019. Okay, so the phone I switched over to is the OnePlus 7 Pro. It's a little big in my hands and it doesn't have wireless charging, but I love the design aesthetic. And I was sold the moment I switched over to this icon pack. I forget the name of it. I'll look it up. Oh no, it was Flight. The icon pack is called Flight. And just the design aesthetic looks so good when you have a thin bezel, no notch, and a clean, minimal design like this. It's a banger. Now, I will say that this icon pack has a brother or sister to it called Lines, and it does not look good. It looked good in the Play Store. I bought it, installed it, but ended up removing it right away because it just doesn't look as good on a big screened phone. Now, speaking of which, Android, this is another tangent. Android, I didn't realize this before. If you buy an app and then you delete it right away, you automatically get a refund on the Google Play Store. How cool is that? Okay. The phone is this, laptop I'm using right now is the Blade from 2018, the Razer Blade 15. If you've watched my channel over the years, you've probably noticed that I've transitioned out of MacBooks back into Windows devices. I started my YouTube channel on MacBooks. I transitioned a lot of my family and friends into MacBooks, but nowadays, like, yeah, it just doesn't make sense for a lot of people to be purchasing Macs. Back when I first started using Apple computers, it was like 2008 when they first introduced the unibody MacBook. It was such an easy device to get into, especially because all the Windows laptops back then were just trash. Like, they were just so bad, and nowadays in 2019, that's just really not the case. There's a lot of really good Windows laptop options, and I think a vast majority of them are really good value for what you're getting, especially in comparison to the MacBook and MacBook Pro lineup. Now, on the flip side, it does seem that Apple's in kind of like a transitionary period. They're probably going to be introducing some ARM-based laptops in the relatively near future, and we're also hearing rumors of like new keyboards, like getting rid of the butterfly switches to more traditional kind of scissor switches. So there's cool stuff on the horizon with Apple's hardware, but right now, because of like, there's so many issues with the current MacBook Pros and MacBooks that, yeah, this was an easy decision to make. So this one's the 2018 one. It's not running RTX hardware. I made a video earlier this year telling people not to buy RTX laptops at launch because they weren't a particularly good value, and we weren't seeing a lot of games actually making use of ray tracing hardware. So it just didn't make sense back then to purchase it. 6 months later, I still kind of feel that way. Like, we've seen some pretty good value with some RTX laptops. Like, we've seen some good options for even $1,200. But for the average user out there, if you can find a 10 series device that's just on sale or a lot cheaper, and there are some out there, then yeah, they're still really good. If I'm still using this, right? I find that the games that I play and the videos that I edit, there's not much of a difference between 10 series devices from 2 years ago and the RTX devices from today. So yeah, RTX it's cool, it's just not really necessary. I don't customize my Razer Blade very much. I keep it very stock. In fact, I don't even install Razer's like Synapse software on these things. I just try to keep it as clean as possible. The one thing I have changed in terms of my setup is the mouse I've been using. The mouse I used to use, and I think a lot of people on YouTube use, are the Logitech MX Master 2S and the MX Anywhere, I believe this is called. These are great mice, and I've used these a lot over the years, but the mouse I'm using most right now is actually a gaming mouse. I mean, it's designed for gaming, but it's awesome for just everyday mousing. It's the Logitech G Pro. This is a wireless mouse, but instead of using Bluetooth, it uses a dongle, which is a disadvantage for some people, but the sensor on this thing is so good. It just makes other Bluetooth mice just pale in comparison. It's a very smooth experience. If you have not tried this mouse and you're looking for a wireless mouse for your laptop, I cannot recommend this thing enough. And the battery life on it is also pretty solid. And the sensor or the dongle fits into the mouse when you're done with it. Okay, that basically wraps up the stuff that I've been using. If there's questions, I'll answer them below. Last thing, the bag that I'm using, you've seen this before. It's the Apex Lawson from Herschel. Good bag. I don't know if they still make this particular colorway, but it's kind of a minimal, simple backpack that is not super techy, which I'm not a big fan of. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs if you loved it, subs if you loved it. See you guys next time.